Welcome to Key Conversations, a Making It in the Music Business podcast. My goal for this podcast is to help you learn from these conversations with both experts and working musicians and serve as a guide to assist your career in the process. I'm your host, Cheryl B. Englehart. Let's get going. Hi.
Hello. Hi.
This is Eric Gowan. Eric, thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
He's here under duress. Accurate?
I wouldn't say that. That's a lot.
I exaggerate.
I've got a clear head about me. I just walked half a mile or something really fast in the heat, so I'm good. Peak state.
So
ready to
Eric,
roll.
yeah, there you go. Eric creates music, and we are here at South by Southwest because Eric did something that I think I would have done too. I offered on my Facebook group a free day pass to attend all of the South by stuff, and Eric was the first to respond, so he got it. He wasn't even planning on attending South by, but then got this day pass and then made the trip from Colorado.
Well, I didn't know you were going to lock me into it. I was like, what are the details? And you were like, your ticket's waiting for you. So that's pretty much how it went. So then I booked it. I booked the flight and the hotel and made it happen. And
made it happen. That is the theme today.
Yeah.
So tell us about you. I said you're a music creator, but give everyone who's listening an idea of what that means.
Well, I have been recording since 4 tracks and writing songs since high school. It's been over 20 years of songwriting and trying to figure out my voice as an artist, and been in bands, and currently I am, I followed the digital development of, producing at home in studio, and have been just trying to figure out how to be able to share that and get some traction through online networking and social media and email lists and all that. So
all that stuff.
Yeah.
So right now you're producing and creating your own tracks. You're focusing a little bit on licensing. I know we've talked about that. You're not touring as an artist or a band currently, or
no band at the moment. It would be fun, but just currently not doing that. So.
Yeah. So you've got. I'm a big fan of focus. I mean, there's a million things you could be doing. So if you're like, all right, I'm going to figure out this, like writing and producing for commercials specifically, or there's not. I think that's and that's sort of where you are right now, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. I found the crew over at Catch the Moon.
Yep.
Catch the Moon, Kathy Heller, and they've got a really focused sync course, and
yep.
And the money's exciting, but I have yet to get a placement.
Right.
But it's cool because I'm in a online community of peers that we're all very positive and moving forward towards being able to create something that's placement worthy.
Sure.
So
cool.
Top level production, all that stuff. As of yet, my tunes haven't really connected online when I just blast out or command, as you say, to my fan base, my Facebook friends, hey, listen to my new song. Hasn't been working, so I figured something needed to change, and found you because I was specifically looking for a music business coach.
That's what I do sometimes. So just to clarify, the command, when we musicians do that a lot, hey, check out my thing, or do linguistically, it's technically command, right? Check this out, or go listen to this. You might as well, what I like to say is, you might as well be listening to me say, come vacuum my house. And people tend to react similarly, ignore it, or it's a little bit of a turnoff, just the way you're wording it. So just even shifting that, when you have something that you want to share, phrasing it as a question, will you go listen to this? Would you share this? Or, would you be willing to? And also the W's in would are soft, would, versus can you do this? Like the hard C.
That's
So
cool,
I actually learned that in a relationship training thing.
Okay.
Like when you're asking your spouse or significant other to do something for you, like, can you do this? It's like I got really into that. I love words. I'm a lyricist. Come on, we're all songwriters. We write lyrics for stuff. Like, that's interesting, right? Cool.
Very good. Yeah.
So side note. So anyway, so that's what Eric meant when he said shifting the idea of the command. So in the world of songwriting and licensing, let's talk about this. Let's elevate what you're. So you're in this course. I'll put a link to the course because I'm a fan of Kathy. I'm signed to Catch the Moon Music. Just full disclosure. In the keyofsuccess.com/podcast will be all the links that anything that we talk about and how you can find Eric and everything if you so inclined. If he lets me post his website.
Yeah. My music is at ericgowan.com, ERICGOWAN.com.
Awesome. So let's talk about placement. So in the course, you're talking specifically. It's more about commercials and a little bit of TV, right?
It's TV, ads, and film.
Ads, and film. Cool.
So there's a bunch of people in the class, and a lot of people are writing for specifically a TV show that they saw on Netflix, and I think that's kind of the easier road to go out of all three. They're all hard, but you can at least watch a show and find out who the music supervisor is.
Absolutely.
And you can a lot of it is about research and what you can do on the back end to make a song that's ideal for that music supervisor, their style.
Sure.
Ads I found are a little more difficult. You have to just go on YouTube and watch commercials and find music that fits in your style. And
right. But the thing about ads is that they've already done that ad. And with TV shows, there's ongoing need for music in a style and a feel. But once you see that Toyota ad, they're not going to do that ad again. So
they could change up their style.
They can change up. Toyota can hire a different agency. They can hire so the person that created the music for that or curated it or the producer on board might not be the same person for the next ad. Unlike TV shows, which usually have a music supervisor for the season, and so that also makes it a little tricky because you're, connecting to people. The advertising industry, in my experience, is a little bit of an old man's club. Like, they go with who they trust. They go with companies, even though they could save a ton of overhead costs going direct to us musicians.
Yeah.
Ad agencies haven't quite figured that out yet, but I'm actually working on that, trying to increase the education.
So I'd love to break into ads.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been taking my sort of indie punk, Beastie Boys, hip hoppy alternative style to the mainstream, and trying to just focus on universal lyrics that can apply to everybody, and
great.
Production gimmicks and stuff that are current.
Where do you go to up your production? Because I know that's something that you keep trying to improve on, and I know most people that are doing their own demos and their own producing are always trying to get better. What's your go-to resource?
Diplo. He's a producer, Major Lazer.
Yeah.
I listen to him because I relate to him musically, and I guess just his vibe is just kind of super fun, and I read in an interview one time that he's like, if artists come to me to sound like the future, so that kind of resonated with me. Just always be looking around the bend, and if something you're doing you've never heard before, if it's hot, maybe that works.
So you're listening to, and then you're tweaking your own mixes and sort of A-Bing things.
Yeah, I need to get better and better at that. I think referencing is a weak point for me. Being able to pull another track and be let's see, I don't want to sound necessarily just like this one, but I want to have the same kind of energy, or sonically I want my drums to be about the same level in relation to the
Sure. Yeah, that
rest of it.
I think I got my production chops better when I got hired by College Humor to do some sound-alikes. They changed the lyrics and they did these music video parodies. So I was breaking down, Kesha songs and Bruno Mars songs and taking the bass and like listening and isolating and trying to figure out how they did that sound, and that really got my production chops up, was being forced to do that. It's also something that I like to do when I'm in between, like I'm not feeling super creative, like to write something original, but I know I've got some time to like work on music. I'll try to recreate or create a track or recreate a track to sound just like the mix, and it's been helpful for me. It's hard. It takes something. It's a different part of the creative brain.
Lately I've been importing the track into the DAW and verse, chorus, set my markers, put it on loop, and try to like recreate what they're doing with the hi-hat, with the drums, with the synth soundscape, and I won't just recreate the song. I won't copy their melody, but I'll write something similar and be like, okay, they do a quick intro verse, and then they have like a little break, then they drop the chorus, then after that they do an instrumental tag, and
cool.
Break down the formula like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's it going to take to get a placement, you think? Or what's missing that hasn't been one yet?
For me, I haven't been comfortable with my music enough to pitch. I don't think.
We don't get placements unless we pitch the music.
Yep.
Right.
So I don't want to waste a music supervisor's time. Therefore, I don't want to like get on their radar as somebody who sends them lower quality stuff. I just want to make sure that my production, my mixes, and the whole package is there. I think my songwriting's pretty close.
Great.
I've been doing co-writes, and just co-writing is great because you get this new perspective on like where you are stylistically, where you are, just who's out there, what's going on, and.
So what's the fine line between knowing that your stuff is of the quality to send and just being a perfectionist, which is a form of procrastination? There's a fine line, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And let's see, if I can give a shout out to Graham Cochran from The Recording Revolution. Also, he's taught me that like you can do a lot with a little, and like sometimes you just crank it out and release it.
Yeah.
Why not? And just call it done. And I know, there is a fine line there.
Yeah.
And
you want it to be good, and you don't want to be putting off whatever is terrifying of rejection or whatever, so that you're like, I'm just going to keep making it perfect. But yes, you do want to have that quality control. Like, okay, this is, and I appreciate, and I'm sure the music supervisors out there appreciate that you're not just sending stuff just because you think it's
right.
Like, because there is that side of the coin, which is also not ideal. So,
that's... and when I found Graham, I was trying to learn Pro Tools, and he was releasing EPs, and I was just like, I'm just gonna release this stuff, and so I made 3 EPs in a year, and I knew the songs weren't top notch, but they were fun. I enjoyed them.
Great.
I figured other people might, and I wanted to move on to the next thing. And so, when he recommends that you release, and that way you can get better and just like do another one. And the practice is what makes you perfect. So.
Yeah. And when you get those fans, they're going to want to hear your... I'm always tempted to take my first record out of the universe because I'm like, oh my God. Oh. But there are people that are like, I want to hear the roots. I want to hear how you were first thinking. Like,
so that's what you have on the website at ericgowan.com. I've got my 3 EPs there. I don't have my first record. That was, 2001.
Cakewalk. Yes, I used to have Cakewalk. Oh my God. I think I still get their emails.
Yeah, that was just a bunch of overloaded. Like, I was recording using my 4-track as the mixer into the computer, like no interface.
Amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun because I was experimental, and I put out 22 songs and was just like, hey, I was really, really proud of it.
Great. I think that's the way to go. Is a little bit of just throwing your hat over the fence and just saying like, let's go do this, and knowing that there's a level of quality control that you are implementing somehow. and you're in this course and you're getting feedback, so it's a perfect place to sort of hold off and like fine tune. And
yeah, and I think that was what I really needed was the feedback.
Yeah.
I didn't know where I stood.
Sure.
And I was pretty clear about that as I like joined the group. You introduce yourself to everybody, and I'm just like I don't know how I stand, like what people think of my tunes, because when I was blasting on Facebook, hey, this is what I want, or hey guys, listen to my new track.
Yeah.
It wasn't resonating with anybody because they weren't listening to it, and maybe it was just the way I presented it.
Yeah. Combination of stuff.
So I wasn't getting any feedback. And
yeah. Cool. Or you weren't asking for feedback.
I wasn't.
You're just like, hey, listen to it.
Yep. I didn't want to hear what people thought of it. Go like,
yeah.
Oh, I know the hi-hats are
yeah.
way too loud, and there's no kick and snare.
Yeah. It might be useful for you to. There are tons of composer and producer groups on Facebook, and a lot of them, the composers ones that I'm in are, they have daily like post a track, and you can post a track if you give feedback on someone else's track, sort of thing, which is a kind of a cool model. So that might be worth looking into too, beyond the course, to get actual like real feedback in a space that is designed for that, so it's not a weird like.
Right.
And you're giving it too, so I would just do it, maybe see if that might be something.
Yeah, I think that helps a lot. Like in the Access course, Kathy Heller's thing that I'm part of, there's a lot of engineers, pro producers in the class, and
cool.
I mean the feedback they give you is like, it sounds like 26 hertz is like a little too.
It's super specific. Wow.
I was like, how do you even hear that? Or like, I don't know what kind of tools they use, but
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's just it's cool like that, because also like if I were to say, hey guys, what do you think of the song, to just my Facebook friends, then I'm not going to get any, like, everybody's just going to play the friend and be like, oh, that sounds good, I like it.
Yeah, and they're not listening with that producer ear,
Totally.
Which is why I suggested maybe other groups that have the ear for production that can give you what you're actually looking for, which is like honest feedback that's not terrifying from a fan, but like helpful.
So
for real.
On that note, I've also been utilizing my kids, my baby, my newborn.
Okay.
If I play something for her, she'll a lot of the time she actually smiles and like likes it and laughs.
That's amazing.
And then I also have a 13-year-old stepson who, let's see, the other night I played him my new song. It was just my scratch idea demo, and he said, this is the most horrible song I've ever heard. And I was like, okay, so I know it's resonating with you somehow.
That's amazing.
Because it's playing with you emotionally, and you had to say that, and he's very into like poppy stuff too, so it was like, I was like auto-tuned vocals, just playing,
That's amazing.
But he, so like I also have him because he's into that pop, he's into the pop stuff, and I feel like the kids kind of dictate where the future of music will be, and
if you can write
and if I can write something that resonates with him and he doesn't know it's me, then I don't know. So
there you go. Love it. From the mouth
those
of
are my
some
tactics.
babes.
Yeah.
Great. I love it. I haven't heard played for my kids, and I think a 13-year-old is probably a pretty good audience, especially if you're writing for that. Awesome. So anything else before we wrap up that you want to share from your composer?
Yeah, if for artists out there, I think what I've learned in the last 3 months of taking the MX4 course with you, being in this Access course, is that like when you invest in yourself and like reach out to communities that are supportive and positive, that like you get a whole new perspective and new encouragement. And I felt so alone in all my music endeavors as a home studio rat trying to like break through some sort of noise, and just reaching out, getting the community, getting the support is huge. And then like opportunities just appear, you know. I didn't know I was coming to South by, and now I'm here, and it's super awesome, and I've just been stepping out of my comfort zone and do it. Why not?
So awesome. Thanks for being here. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Please don't forget to rate, like, and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and YouTube if you like this podcast. Musicians like you keep me inspired and motivated, and for doing that, I'm offering you a free 6-page guide to pitching. This guide will unlock the keys to priming your pitch, where you can get started getting a yes when you pitch anything to anyone. Grab it at inthekey.co/prime. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time on Key Conversations. The theme song on this podcast was provided by yours truly. If you're interested to find out more about my composing and songwriting projects, go to inthekey.co/Cheryl. If you're a musician looking to get some real results for your music career, then head to inthekey.co/results, where I've created a bunch of different kinds of resources just for you. Key Conversations is sponsored in part by Bandzoogle. They make it easy to build a beautiful website for your music. Their step-by-step system gets you online in minutes, and you can choose from hundreds of mobile-friendly themes and customize them with their point-and-click editor. All of the features you can imagine for a possible website are built in. So, because you're a Key Conversations podcast listener, you get a special month free trial plus 15% off if you do decide to sign up, just for you. Go to inthekey.co/make-a-site to get the offer.
Pretty sure that you're the missing part.